Morning, Blue Bear. What are you doing? Working on your thesis?
No, I'm actually working on my new paleo profile.
That looks like Greek mythology, not a paleo profile.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Because to me it looks like a storm's a brewing. A thunderstorm.
What's up, everybody? This is Brian.
And I'm Logan, and this is Tops. Sup. And this is Bottoms. Sup. Whoa, wow. And this is Triple. Sup. Avocado. Christmas ribbon. Wow, wow.
And we're Crush Cards! Hi, team! Happy Monday, my frippity flippin' frogs! Guess what? It's been a whole year as of today since I got my invite last year at the Toronto Regional with Paleo Frogs. Now, lots changed since then, but guess what? The deck's even better now. I would argue this is the best build yet, and I'm really excited to share with you guys. I think this build is freaking fire. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. Obviously, in the last year since I got my invite with this deck, a lot has changed, and I've been updating the deck throughout the year since then. So if you want to see any of the old profiles, feel free to check it out, because I'm not going to go through every card with as much depth as I typically would, because I've done so many profiles that I feel like you guys know what's going on at this point.
We'll link them up here if you're interested.
But a lot has changed in the actual deck itself, so make sure you're watching. I would argue this is one of the best control decks of the format. I think the amount of outs this deck now has, how free it is to get this guy out, is just something else. So I'm excited to share it with y'all. I hope y'all got your ribbiting caps on, because this is going to be a ribbiting profile. Get it? How many ribbits can I throw in a profile?
But before we get into this video, if you guys are not already a subscriber, feel free to go down, hit that subscribe button, throw this video a like, comment if you are ready for Christmas, because it starts tomorrow, friends.
Ho, ho, ho. And happy Hanukkah.
We also have an Instagram. It's at CrushCardsYGL. We're on there all the time, posting posts, answering messages, and posting stories. Feel free to come say hi. We also have a super wholesome Discord community. It's absolutely bopping. I love it. It's the most wonderful place on earth. It's basically Disney World. Go check it out. And then last but not least, if you want to further support the channel, we have a Patreon. The month starts tomorrow, so this is the last day of the month where you can get in for tomorrow's benefits. Also, the bloopers are going up either today or tomorrow. So if you want to laugh for like 10 minutes straight, we got you, fam. Get your giggles on.
And for anyone who has been paying attention to the community page or on the Instagram, we have officially set up remote dueling us as a benefit for Patreon.
Yes, so if you want to remote duel with us and get your own individual session, feel free to go check it out. But yeah, all the links are in the description box down below. Feel free to go check them out. All right, team, but with that being said, let's hop into this deck profile and get going, because your girl's got the heat. Okie dokie, my frippity frogs. We're starting off with the mandatory 3 of our big boss daddy, who isn't a big boss daddy at all. He's just our cute little boy, Swap Frog. Wow, and guess what, team? He is an ultimate rare now. He was sent to us by Anthony in our ultimate opening. Doink, doink, doink. Oh, where'd my finger go? It's over there. But if you want to watch it, it's right there. It's one of the kindest things that anyone's ever done for us. It's super cool to now have ulti swaps. It only took me a year. We had comments, then we had ultras, and now we've finally peaked, team. We've peaked and we've made it. But for those of you who don't know, Swap Frog, you can special summon this card from your hand by discarding a water monster, any water monster. Good news is in this deck, it's literally only frog. And then when he is summoned, you can basically Foolish Burial a frog. You're sending a frog. You're probably sending Ronin Totem and or Dewfrog. That's it. You're usually doing that. And then if you special summon him, you can bounce him back to your hand and then proceed to normal summon him and just dump again, because not a hard once per turn to dump. So you can send Ronin, bounce back, send dupe, banish the dupe, get out Ronin, make Toad, boom, bang, boom, you're done.
Another really cool interaction with Swap Frog that, like, I just don't understand how this is like a legal thing that like Swap Frog, like old card design, gets around, is even if they imperm this, they don't imperm the effect to bounce back. So you can bounce back and just do it again, which is just so silly.
It's great. I love it. And even if you do normal summon him, you can normal summon, dump, and then you can still bounce back. You just cannot summon him again. So if you don't want to leave him on the field, you can do that. Isn't that fun? He's great. You want to open him, and when you have ultis, you almost always do. It's a magical gift of the ulti power. But yeah, that's Swap Frog. He's your best boy. You want to play him. If you can't get ultis, it's okay. I played commons for a very long time, and I loved you for it. Thanks, Blood.
And they got ultras now too.
Yay! And after the last of our little 3-of frogs, we're playing Dewfrog. When he's on the field, your opponent can't target monsters for attacks except Dewfrog, which is great because he's got a big old booty and you're always leaving him in defense mode because you summon him off of Toad. Then when he is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a frog monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You're usually going for the deck because you want to add Swap Frog to your hand. The only bad thing about Dupe Frog is that he is a when effect, he is not an if effect, so he misses timing almost all the time, so you have to have your opponent battle into him most of the time in order for his effect to resolve, but it's okay, he's really just there to protect your Toad and protect your monsters. And it's pretty cool because you have this and an Avermax on the field, which does happen. You put your opponent in a soft lock where they literally can't attack you. Isn't that so fun? It's so interactive. I love this deck. Alright, last up for the Froggies, we're playing 2 Ronin Toad, and you never play 3. He literally recycles himself. You have absolutely no reason to play 3. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish a frog monster from your graveyard, special summon this card. Not a hard once per turn. You literally banish a frog, boink, banish a frog, boink. You can link them off, do it all again if you have more resources. It's literally amazing. You play 2. He is your extender. He is incredible. We love him. He's perfect.
It is good to note too that like it says that this card can't be used for synchro material because we are actually playing something that is a little spicy in this
Yes,
deck.
we are playing some very special secret cards in this deck, so make sure you stick around and don't use Ronin Totem for your synchro summons. Ding ding. Next up, we're playing 2 Absolute King Backcheck. Backcheck kind of comes in and out of the deck for me just because of choices and better cards, but right now I have him at 2 because he's really darn good with another card in the deck. So what Backcheck does is if he is sent to the graveyard, yes, he's an if, not a when, which is absolutely amazing. You can look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, place them on top of the deck in any order. Wow, you basically stack top 3 cards of your deck. That's pretty lit. And then during your opponent's turn, you can banish this card from the graveyard as a quick effect, excavate the top card of your deck, and if it is a normal trap, you can set it to your side of the field, otherwise send it to the graveyard, and then that set card can be activated this turn. Wow, it's Trap Trick, but like kind of faster and pretty darn good. If you hard open him, you can also just use Link Kuriboh to get him into the graveyard and get his effect off. The more you know. And then for the last of the monsters, we are playing 1 Hoppier Squadron, so you don't necessarily want to rely on hard drawing this card. It's kind of just here as a convenient tech for the deck. He's a level 2 Beast Tuner effect, so guess what? We're going to do some synchro shenanigans in this deck. So during your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can target 1 face-up monster you control, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon a synchro monster using only this card you control and that target. So as you can see, he's a level 2. Guess what we play a bunch of in this deck? Level 2 frogs. Oh my god, what is the synchro level 4 that literally every single deck is playing right now and is really darn good, a Floodgate and an Omni-Negate? It's called Herald of the Arclight. Wow, welcome to my TED Talk. We're only playing 1 because it is not the only way we can synchro summon in this deck, so stay tuned for some special tools we're gonna use later. Thanks, Hoppier. Hand Trap, woohoo! It's a permanence! We play this card because it's a good card. Why do you play it? It's a Hand Trap. You can set it if not. Wow, lock columns. Mech Knights. Whoa, it's in perm. Now we're playing Triple Trap Trick because it's also one of the best traps in the entire deck. You banish normal trap from your deck, set one with the same name directly from your deck. It can be activated this turn, but you can only activate 1 trap card for the rest of the turn after this resolves. But just so you know, your Paleos engraved do not count as activating traps. They are just trap effects. So if someone tries to call you out for saying that you activated a trap, that's not it. That's an effect of a trap. So the Paleos can still summon out and you can still use your 1 trap. That's it. Trap Trick's amazing. It's basically your 6th copy of most of your traps. Speaking of Paleos, here they all are. We're playing 8 of them. No, we're not playing 9 anymore, team. Stay with me here. We're playing 8. Wowee, we're a little crooked, but that's okay. That's life. We're playing 3 Dynamiscus because it's your target banish. Basically just gets rid of anything. You do not have to discard for cost. The targeting is the cost. Canadia is your Book of Moon. Old Ladies were only playing at 2. We cut it down to 2 from 3 because this isn't a super back row heavy format and it's kind of just like a dead card in your hand sometimes. So we cut it down to 2 and that's perfectly fine. I think this is a really great ratio and I'm really good with it. Dynamiscus also can serve as back row removal. It just has to be face up. That's all. For those of you who don't know, once per chain when a trap card is activated while one of these is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card as a normal monster, Aqua level 2, 1200 attack, 0 defense. It is not treated as a trap, it is treated as a normal monster, and they are unaffected by monster effects if they're summoned this way, so that's pretty darn neat, and you banish them when they leave the field. That's about it, folks. Welcome to the Frog deck, where we bounce things. Speaking of bouncing, we play Compulse because you target a monster on the field, return that target to the hand. This card is hilarious. People hate it. It is the best thing ever. I love trap tricking it out. People are just like, all right, I'm just going to put the card back in my hand because I know you're just going to bounce it. So good. I love it. I don't care that it targets. I think this is one of the best cards in the deck. It's so much fun. It's just cheese. I love Compulse. Bippity hop bounce. Welcome to the pond. Speaking of best cards in the deck, this is the actual best card in the deck. Ice Dragon's Prison. I know, in my last profile, I wasn't playing it. Everyone berated me for it for 3 months. Guess what? I'm playing it now. Everything's okay. In my last profile a few months ago, I didn't see it as necessary because there wasn't really as many threats and the format wasn't as disgusting. But guess what? We're in a new format now and the format's going to change in about probably 2 weeks, so it's fine. But guess what? You know what's so great about it? This card's still going to be absolutely bonkers. This is your non-targeting removal. This is your Dragoon out. This is your literal anything out in the deck. So Ice Dragon's Prison says target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your field, but its effects are negated. Then you can banish 1 monster from both players' fields that have the same type as each other. Oh my god. This is literally relevant in every single deck. Dragon Link, Dragons, bye. Infernobles, Warriors, bye. Virtual World Psychics, bye. Dinosaurs, Dinosaurs, bye. You name it, they're dead. So this is really great. You literally rip a card out of their graveyard and you banish something off their field, non-targeting, so darn good. Buy Dragoon, buy anything, it feels great. This card is trap trickable, so you basically pay 6 copies. It's so good, I can't believe it. I know this card isn't very budget friendly right now, but guys, this card makes this deck so much more viable.
And for what it's worth, for all of y'all out there saying that this card is expensive, we put out 15 videos in the last 3 months telling you to pick these cards up while they were $8. So you snoozed, you lose.
Best card. This card is absolutely phenomenal. I love it. God, I wish there were real events. Next card is also a brand new card, straight out of Phantom Rage. We're playing Triple Warning Point. Okay, so in the Paleo group, people are really on the fence with this card. I don't understand it. I think this card is absolutely bonkers. Everyone's like, oh, you have to see it going first. Well, yeah, so do you have to see a bunch of other cards going first. This is a trap deck, all right? And frankly, if we didn't play cards just because we wanted to see them going first, most decks would suck anyway. So you know what? I don't care. Warning Point is absolutely bonkers. This card says when a monster or monsters is summoned this turn, that face-up monster cannot attack, its effects are negated, and it can be used as material for a fusion, synchro, xyz, or link summon.
This card is literally imperm and no material in one. Like, it's really, really gross.
It is so good. I think this card is amazing. Yes, I know you have to rely for like when a monster is summoned, but like that's it.
And the majority of the format right now is like all combo decks right now. And especially if you know, like in your Dragon Link matchup, when they're gonna go into Romulus, you can just stop the Romulus from going anywhere and just leave it on field and negate the effect. Or like in For Noble Knights, when they go for Isolde, negate its effect and keep it on field. Like, it literally ends turns.
So good. I think this card is such a good 3-of. Again, you can trap trick it out. You're playing 6 copies. Like, if you want to play 2, you can, but I think you have to play this card. So for everyone complaining that you need to see this card going first or yada yada yada, this deck plays 18 board breaking cards. Like 18! So you know what, frankly, if you can break their board, you can literally just use this as a follow-up to stop them from remaking a board. So I vouch for this card. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Now we're playing 2 Lost Wind. It's basically just imperm. Again, you target a face of special summon monster on the field, negate its effects. Also, its attack is halved. Wow, if a monster is special summoned from the extra deck while this card is in your graveyard, your opponent's extra deck, I apologize. Except during the damage step, you can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. So basically, you can reset it during your opponent's turn when they summon from the extra deck. Neat, cool, wow. Good card. All right, and then for the last of our trap multiples, we're playing a new card in the deck team. We're playing 2 Fiend Griefing. Now, you all in the comments have been saying for months, and I've heard you, I've seen your pleas to please play Fiend Griefing. I didn't want to play it because it's a common, and it's hard enough having 2 Illinoides as a common in my deck, but it's okay. It's here now. It's gonna stay into the home for a little bit. We're gonna see how it works. But Fiend Griefing is actually pretty cool. You target a monster in your opponent's graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, and then you can send a Fiend type monster from your deck to the graveyard. If you guys were paying attention and saw earlier in the deck, we're playing Backjack, which is a fiend, which you can send off of this and get its effect off. So you're basically plussing off of it, and this kind of serves as your Held by the Grave in the deck because you target a monster in your opponent's graveyard and shuffle into the deck. So basically, whenever your opponent goes to do anything in the graveyard, like, you know, I don't know, every deck in its Metal Marcher plays and they go to target whatever in the graveyard, you just chain this and you shuffle it back so then they can't resolve. Wowee, thanks Marcher. And then you send Backjack, Backjack will excavate your traps, and then you can stack your deck, and wow, you just helped yourself. Isn't that so fun? Yeah, so this card's really good. I'm trying it out. We'll see how it goes. I'm only playing 2 right now because you can trap trick it, but I think this is pretty neat and it gives Backjack more of a purpose instead of having to hard open it. And if not, you can play Get Out. I know I'm not playing Get Out right now. Nobody yell at me, okay? It was really hard to say goodbye to Get Out, but I think this is better. Instead of waiting for your opponent to summon 2 monsters from the extra deck, this is basically Call by the Grave and helps you plus. And then last but not least, because this deck is at 40, we are playing our 2 power 1-ofs, the good old Imperial Order and Scapegoat, our ulti Scapegoat. Woohoo! Obviously, Imperial Order shuts down pendulums. Sorry, Drift, love ya. And basically just, you know, stop spells. Pretty darn good if I do say so myself. And then Scapegoat is, you know, your free Moral Sword or free anything. Play for free. OTK for free. Sounds pretty good to me. That's it. That's the deck. It's pretty straightforward, team. A bunch has changed, but it all does the same thing. It wins. All right, moving on to the extra deck, we're playing Link Spider and Link Karibo. Link Spider is literally for your Paleos because they're normal monsters. Link Karibo is for your Scapegoat tokens. Also, if you're playing in the Dino match, you can use it to get the token off the field because it is a level 1. You contribute to it, ding, 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 and then just swap out. Wow, look, Link Karibo, and then, oh my god, wow, it's an ulti. Next up, we're playing Akashic Magician. I am still faithful to her in the deck. I think she's great. People don't really like playing her, but I think she's awesome. She's 2 monsters with the same type except tokens, so make sure you don't try to use your Scapegoat tokens with these, but you can use 2 Ronin Toad and you can use 2 monsters with the same name if you want. So you can can only link summon her once per turn. If this card is link summoned, you return all monster this card points to the hand. So she's basically a non-targeting bounce, which is pretty neat. So if your opponent summons like a Dragoon or any decent monster to zones 2 or 4, guess what? You can just summon her and then boom, it's gone and you have no issues. So she's literally just your non-targeting removal. Then we're playing my favorite card in the extra deck. Yes, literally, it's Area the Water Charmer, Gentle. I think she is the best card in this extra deck. I'm not exaggerating, I'm not kidding, and no, I am not absolutely loopy as can be. Let's just read Area and talk about this card. So, as long as she's on the field, you can target a water monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to a zone this card points to. It doesn't say its effects are negated, it doesn't say it can't attack, it doesn't say it can't be used for anything at all whatsoever. You know what card's a water monster that's typically in your opponent's graveyard if they're playing literally any decent deck right now?
Needle fiber.
Oh my god, Needle Fiber. Holy crap. So you summon Area, target the Needle Fiber, take their Needle Fiber, and then you just have a live Needle Fiber. The Needle Fiber can attack, and then you're gonna leave it on the field so that in its next turn you can banish the Needle Fiber because it's a quick effect to synchro summon from your extra deck some super secret mystery cards that we're gonna talk about in like 15 seconds. She's nuts. And then if she's destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, guess what? You can add a water monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. Guess what? This card literally says add Swap Frog to your hand. That's bonkers. You're not usually leaving her on field for that to resolve. You're usually gonna link climb, but that's okay. That's still absolutely amazing. She's nuts. She's literally mind control, but better. I love her. I think she's absolutely crazy. If anyone wants to send me the Starlight, feel free to hit us up. Here's the PO box. I'm just kidding, don't do that. Best girl IP, she's always in the deck. She's perfect, she's prismatic. We love to see her. I wish she was a Starlight, but she's not. We take what we can get. I hate to say it, guys, but I'm still having nightmares at night. I'm playing Unicorn and I'm playing Phoenix because, you know, back row and you IP and you Unicorn, shuffle stuff back. That's literally it. Co-link if you want. You can draw things. I don't know. Do what you can. They're just cards you play in the extra deck. It's 2020. We've all played these cards. And then, of course, it wouldn't be a Paleo deck if we weren't playing Avermax. I don't understand how anyone could ever not play Avermax. I still think he's one of the best cards ever created in the game, but I'm just, you know, a simp for Avermax. I get it. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also, they cannot target monsters for attacks except Avermax once per battle during damage calculation. If this card battles a special summon monster quick effect, you can make this card gain attack equal to that special summon monster's attack during damage calculation only. Basically, you're hitting for 3k no matter what you're doing. And then if this link summon card you control is sent to the graveyard by opponent's card effect, you can shuffle a card back into the deck from the field. Wow, hey Dingirsu, I see you and I met you with a very cute husbando. Paleozoic! Love you, bud. Okay guys, we're gonna talk about some new cards now. Are you ready? Alright, so remember when we talked about Area? I'm just going to put her here for reference. We're playing Formula Synchron, and we're playing Herald of the Arclight. Holy schmoly, this is a Synchro deck now. So what I said about summoning Needle Fiber, keeping Needle Fiber on the field, and then during your opponent's turn, you use Needle Fiber's quick effect to banish itself from the field, and then summon Formula Synchron from the extra deck. He's a level 2 tuner Synchro. When this card is Synchro summoned, you can draw a card, and then once per chain during your opponent's main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, Synchro summon using this card you control as a quick effect. Guess what he is? He's a level 2. Guess what you mostly play? Level 2. So if you have a Toad and you summon out a Dupe Frog, or you have a Frog on the field, you literally just make Herald for free. It's so good. So you take the Needle Fiber, get Formula Synchron, wait, and then you get Herald. And you draw. It's so good, and then you end up with an Omni Negate. This is a beautiful flow of progress that I think this deck absolutely needed. You get draw power, you get another Omni Negate, and you just have a free monster. And if not, you can always just make the Herald with the Hop Your Squadron that we play in the deck. We play the one of so that if you hard open it, you can just make it yourself, you know? That's it. This is so cool. It's a really cool line of play. I highly recommend it. It's absolutely bonkers. This deck needed this kind of little plus power for it, so thanks, girl. Obviously, this wouldn't be a frog deck without playing two of our best boy. Really hoping he goes to 3 on the ban list. If not, it's fine. I don't think I've ever actually used all 3 except for very, very rare instances. If you're in like a hell of a grind game, I get it, but like 2 is really the ideal number because this extra deck is tight as hell. So right now I can't really afford to have 3. But for any new Paleo players, he is your big Omni Negate boy. He's perfect. Once per turn during the standby phase, you detach material from this card, special summon a frog from your deck. You're always going to summon Dupe Frog because he's your protection, and then if he gets destroyed by battle, you get to basically add swap from your deck to your hand. He's great. And then the second effect is literally once per turn during either player's turn. When your opponent activates literally anything, you can send a frog from your field to the graveyard, negate the activation, and destroy it. He's literally just an Omni Negate, so when you have Dupe Frog, you can just use it to doink, and he can also use himself if you really need to. Don't recommend it, but use your frog if you can. And then if he's sent to the graveyard, you can target a water monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So that's pretty cool. He recycles, it's neat, it's fun. He's eco-friendly. He's the best boy in the deck, kind of, sort of. You don't really rely on Toad anymore. Honestly, this deck kind of combos off in itself. But we play a new special card where if you go into Toad and he's still on the field for the battle phase and you enter the battle and he survives, you can just overlay into Zeus, our new best boy. Yes, you heard me right. Once per turn, if an Xyz monster battled this turn, you can also Xyz summon this guy, Divine Arsenal AA Zeus Sky Thunder, by using an Xyz monster you control as material. Oh my god, and you transfer its material. So not only do you get to just plop it on there, but you get to keep the materials too. That's bonkers. And then for Zeus, he has a quick effect where you can detach 2 materials from this card and send all other cards from the field to the graveyard. All of them. So that is your cards too. So you need to be mindful when you are doing this effect. And this is also really good because if your opponent tries to like bait you and like, you know, get you to use all your traps and everything, you can just be like, Zeus. And then frankly, it's really good when your Paleo's in grave too. So like, everyone wins in this situation, except your opponent. You win. I'm just kidding. You win the game.
And the best part too is like Toad being a material. Once you detach Toad, you still get Toad's
yes,
effect.
It's so good. And then you'll have the material. Oh my god, it's so good because you got Rodent Toad and everything in the grave. Oh, it's a match made in heaven. I've never thought that thunder and water would mix so beautifully, but you know what? It's the perfect storm. And then also, once per turn, if another card you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can just attach a card from your hand deck or extra deck to this card as material. That's it. This card's amazing. This card made this deck like miles better. I can't even stress how wonderful this card is. It's just like, oh, Toad, a boink, oh, I win the game. That's it. Oh, we have one more card in the extra deck, but I mean, it doesn't compare anything to this, but we're still gonna talk about it. Man, I love Greek mythology. Zeus looks so good. And then we're playing Last Warrior because he's awakening the dragon target. That's it.
Said actually on Patreon.
Good luck summoning. Alright team, we're going to try and do a test hand with Paleo. It's kind of hard to do test hands with control decks because, you know, you're usually just setting cards and passing. But we'll go through like a couple turns, see what happens, do some interaction, and show what this deck really is ideally supposed to do. And the good news is this deck has gotten a lot better thanks to Zeus and a lot of the new trap cards. So it's really nice to see this deck get a bump. I would argue this is the best control deck of the format, but you know, don't at me, okay? I don't need to hear it in the comments. My deck's great. But anyway, we're going to show it off and show all of its beautiful shiny thunder and lightning and storm and ribbit and blah, blah, blah. But all right, let's give it a whirl. Are you ready, opponent? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okie dokie. Doink.
Perfect. All right. Good luck. Have fun.
All right, Alti Swaps, hear my call. We're going first in an ideal world. All right. Okay. All right. That's the deck.
I mean, that's really strong.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Do I need to show you guys how to do this, or you flip the cards over and you pass?
Yeah, you hold Canadian because there's a trap in your
Yeah.
graveyard. Done. Amazing. Let's do another one.
All right, control deck, let's go.
Perfect. Look at that. What a great shuffle. Good luck. Have fun. What all cool kids say. You got it.
Neat. All right, we're going first in a perfect world.
There he is.
Oh, it feels good.
Amazing.
Neat. Wow, this is literally a Paleo frog hand. That's not like the most ideal hand in the world. I mean, it's good because you open Paleos, but like,
Sweet.
eh. All right, team. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hold the Olinoides because there's really no back row happening in this format, really. So we're gonna hold that for our Dynamiscus banish. So we're gonna set the Dynamiscus. We're gonna set the Canadia. We're gonna dump the Ronin Totem, doink, and we're gonna summon the Swap Frog. We're gonna assume it goes through. Yeehaw. I'm gonna send your Dupe Frog. There he goes. And you're gonna shuffle on up. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. And then you're gonna banish the Dupe Frog and summon the Ronin Totem. Wow. Cool. Guess what we're gonna do, guys? This deck's so linear. You're gonna go into Toad, but you're gonna do it over here in Zone 1. Neat. Okay, there's Toad. Boink. Wow, you have this card in your hand for your discard for Dino, and you're gonna sit, and then your opponent's gonna enter the standby phase. Oh, standby phase, Toad. There he goes into the graveyard. Neat. And then we're gonna summon off Toad. Protect yourself. And then wow, look at that. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 interruptions off of this hand already. You're doing great, team. Your opponent's gonna try and do something. They're probably gonna try to summon something. You're gonna Dynamiscus whatever the hell they want to do. Boink, and then you're gonna send your Paleo because you have Canadia set, so you want this to be able to trigger and then come out. So always use the one that'll dump the Paleo first. So use Dino. Cool. So then you just banish whatever they wanted to do, and now they're sad. Great. They're gonna try and do something else because they probably have an extender. They're gonna summon something else. Doink, you're gonna use Canadia and you're gonna Buckamoon it. Oh my god, you have 2 Paleos engraved. What a gift. Pick whatever one you want, I guess. And you're gonna summon it in attack mode because it's fine. It's a 1200 bodies and you have dupe. So frankly, they're probably not attacking the Dynamiscus at all.
Woo.
And yeah, as if you couldn't really interrupt anymore, if they literally try to do anything else, you have an Omni Negate off of Toad. So I don't think they're doing anything else. You just interrupted them, what, like 3-4 times? Yeah, they're not doing anything. And if they are, well, stop them. Anyway, we're gonna draw because it's our turn now and our opponent's sad. Oh my god. You win. Standby phase. We're going to send our little ultimate boy over there. We're gonna swap Frog because obviously why just not OTK when you can OTK? Send our Ronin Toad in, because then we have both engraved. And then holy schmoly, we've got 4 bodies on board. Let's extend. We're gonna banish Swap Frog. Bye, buddy. And then we're gonna summon Ronin Toad in. Okay, so this is our hand. So now we're gonna leave Toad on field because he is still an Omni Negate and we're trying to avoid Nibiru. So if your opponent has Nibiru, you can just So we're gonna make IP. We're gonna use our Dino and we're gonna use our Dupe. Doink, free up some zones. We're gonna banish the Dino because it left the field. Dupe Frog will go ahead here so Ronin Toad is live. And so now we're gonna OTK because we literally just can. This is how good this deck is. All right, we're gonna just go into Whirl Sword. Yeehaw! And he can't be destroyed by card effects. That's pretty rad. All right, so that's all in there. He's protected now, and guess what, team? As if 1 Toad wasn't enough, we're gonna banish Swap, summon Ron, banish Dupe, summon Ron. Sorry, he's in defense mode. He's just slippery slide, new sleeves. You know that feeling. And then, oh boy, guys, never felt so good. You know, we're gonna make a whole nother Toad. Wow, this is a beautiful little lake we're living in.
Battle phase.
Yeah, and so like, I mean, I guess you could set the prison. Avoid Mech Knights. I guess we'll enter battle. Effective Whirl Sword. Yeah! And then you win. And I mean, cool. For the flex, I know I won, but like he battled, so I'm just joshing. You already won, so, but that's how that works, just so you know. But yeah, this is the deck. Obviously, it's super hand dependent. It really depends on what you open. If you open Swap and literally any other Frog, you win the game. If you open literally any of the cards you like, and this was just with Paleos. This wasn't even with Warning Point. We saw the prison in our next turn. This deck can do so much depending on your hand. Obviously, most of the time, you're probably going to open 5 traps or maybe 4 traps and a backjack or something, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you can't win the game. That means you have more interruptions set, and that's pretty darn good. Ice Dragon's Prison itself is like just bonkers. So just be mindful that opening traps is not a bad thing. I would argue that sometimes opening all traps is great because then your opponent has to look down a bunch of traps set, and it's great because you can just respond with anything anyway. So it's awesome. You have interruptions up the wooza in this deck. It's super strong. Right now it's amazing thanks to Zeus and Ice Dragon's Prison and Warning Point. The area mind control, the Needle Fiber Formula Synchron Herald play is also absolutely phenomenal. If you guys for some reason want to see like a combo tutorial of this deck, I mean, I can, but maybe it'll go up on Patreon. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But I think this deck is freaking rad right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a whole year since I got my invite in Toronto. I'm super happy that this deck is still viable, that Toad is it too, and I can still play it and be happy. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching my updated Paleo profile. We love you. You matter. I'm so happy you're all in this big old pond with me and my boys. And Whirl Sword and Zeus.
Bye, guys. Have a great day. You're perfect. Wow. Happy Monday.
Yeah!
Merry Christmas.